You're going to recognize someone in this list, maybe yourself. These are 10 mistakes I watched real people make. People who were convinced they were resolving their trauma. People who weren't. Why am I legit to talk about that? I come from an 8.5 out of 10 trauma severity. I was persecuted, blamed, harassed by adults during my whole childhood. I've made my way out like I've seen only a handful of people make it. I'm no doctor, I'm no therapist. I only talk from 10 years personal conscious work on it. And I'm recovered at 90% now. I'm a 27 years old asshole, yet I teach that. Trauma solving. More precisely, deactivating workplace triggers for high-performing survivors. Number 1, the dismissal reflex. A past close friend of mine really shocked me when once he told me, stop telling me about all these things about spirituality, about trauma and everything. I read so many books about that. I don't need to do anything else. I know it all because I've read it and I'm good now. The biggest problem with that is the argument. You've read book, so what? What do you want, like a trophy for that? For reading books? That's typically some kind of arrogance. That's not one to confuse with deep inner understanding you've come to. At many steps, you may be like, I've reached some point where I've made so much progress, but it's a process of humility. It's not a matter of quantity, especially not about books. That's the thing, especially these days. You can express something almost everybody can agree on, yet who lives by these principles? Very few people. It's not about reading, it's about transformation. This friend of mine understood that transformation principle, yet you'll see him undergoing the wrong curve of repeating the same triggers all the time, more deeply every time, yet undergoing them. This way, he would anchor them deeper and deeper, confuse mental strength with awareness, nourishing the ego rather than consciousness. Mistake 2. Just move on. Basically the worst excuse of all. They could not process their own trauma, so they're telling you to let go. Don't care about that. Stop spending time on that. Stop thinking about it. Just move on is what I'm currently experiencing with the last relative I'm in contact with. My grandmother was like, just move on. She's old, not an excuse. It's a real pity that shows one thing, lack of hope. Hope is the thing you hang on to. Be realistic for a second. Every day you feel like you're not moving on, yet you are. If you play the quote, move on game for yourself or with others, that just means they're like wearing the mask, the high-performing mask, man or woman. It's like, oh, I'm so successful with my career. I'm such a great mother. Like, you're telling me you compensate your lack of faith and self-respect with money on your kids, on your children? How empty you must feel when you come back at home. If you undergo this kind of shit, get rid of these people. This mistake only reveals something unresolved in them, not in you. Mistake 3, the most well-known one, yet the most repeated one. Repeating what was done to you in denial. Reproducing the exact patterns you were subjected to. Layering denial on top of it. Some generations of victims, for example, when you're persecuted by your parents, you repeat that with your children, they do repeat it with their children, etc. Maybe some progress is being made generation by generation. It is not enough. I've lived it myself, especially with the last person I was telling you about. I'm still in touch with in my family, my grandmother, in intimacy. I do observe why my mother is the way she is. After so much work on myself and this trauma matter, I'm like, really, was it that subtle that she's fucked up too? Because yes, I know she is. But differently than my mother, she claims she's not repeating what she's been through. Yet she's doing that in a very particular way. And it's like, my mother and my sister typically will be like, we did so much for you for your birthday party. There's no reason for you to be mad a few days later, because you should think about what we did for you, hold on to it, and not expressing yourself or some lack of respect you estimate you're going through with us. That's a very interesting one, very stupid one as well. My grandmother is not like that, even though they repeat the scheme generation after generation. She's a giver. That is the interesting part, because she's giving so much to other people. Her greatest quality is generosity, but the generosity is always showcased as natural, not expecting anything in return. Yet, seeing me succeed triggered her. She started blaming me for making money. She did help me a lot in the past. Generous with her time, with advice, with quality time, gestures. But at some point, she better bury you, shame you, because the fact that you've overcame it, not only inside, but on the outside as well, like nobody has ever did it in my family, like I do, makes her slightly repeat the pattern, not by persecuting me directly, but indirectly. That's a very interesting one when you think about it. Her mind is so clear, yet it's kind of over for her, because even at her age, the high performing mask is the final character she'll play, and she's the less worse by far in my family. Yet, there are so many things we can become. Some people would say it's jealousy. That can be. That's ego too. But when you add on vice, meanness, pettiness, you realize very quickly it's worse than that. The level of self-awareness says it all. If you tell them and they don't realize it, fix cannot happen. There are not only simple examples. You are beaten up, you beat back. No. There are different layers. They get processed. And at some point, that can happen very late. You realize you're not the mistake. They are. If you want more details about that, just check our last video right here. 4. Missing the window. This one is very personal because it's about my sister. So when I was 19, I got to start this journey of healing by myself. And when I had my first huge transformations, ascensions, my sister started reacting weirdly about that. She's been through the same thing as I have, kind of differently, yet she has the same level of trauma than I do. But she started being really, really mean with me. At some point, I just told her, you have a choice right now. 2 ways. Either you follow me, you make a huge change on yourself, with yourself, based on shitty family we've got. So we differentiate ourselves from them together. We have the opportunity to do it together. Either you don't. And that's going to be a way worse path for you. More sad, difficult, fake. Make up your mind. Unfortunately, as you can guess, she made the second choice. That was too hard for her. I saw it back then in her eyes. I could tell she did not have the strength to make the right choice. Of course, it's something I deeply regret. That's my skin in the game in telling you about this specific mistake right here. Some opportunities to resolve only come once. My sister had the chance to walk this path alongside me. She chose a different direction. The window's closed. 5. Don't go back to your persecutors. I've pre-recorded a video about that months ago. If you're interested about this specific subject, I'll post it. Let me know in the comments. I've seen many friends of mine doing this mistake. They were sovereign at some point, unleashed from their chains, but they get older, 30, 40, 50, and they're like, my parents are gonna die soon. Like, I don't know, they can die between 60 and 90, 100, whatever. But I won't spend time with them before they die. And it's something I don't understand. I kind of conceptualize it because, well, I've tried so much to spend quality time, resolving time with my family. Whenever I feel like someone else in my family is trying to destroy me because it's the only thing they know about, I'm like cutting ties with this person. And I'm at this point right now where I don't have ties with anyone anymore. I'm just gonna build my own family. Thanks to me. That's it. But something I know very well for sure is that when you tell people you have no family, you don't feel good about that. I don't feel good. I'm like, I have no family because they're all crazy, basically. And you want to believe in that. You want to hope things will change. That's the wrong hope, again. Like, maybe it's a conviction, but if reality is different, well, you can force the conviction as much as you want. That won't do a thing. So they end up going back to their persecutors because, oh, I got older, they got older too. After all, it's family. No, it's not. Definitely not. There was something really interesting about a video Alex Hormozy made. He's rarely not talking about business, yet he said in one video that one day his father called and his father said, do you have a minute? Please sit down. Are you seated? Okay. Alex is like, what is that all about? And his father tells him, I'm sorry. Like, you're sorry about what? And he's saying, I'm sorry about everything. And Alex didn't know what to say, but The interesting part about that is that at some point, with your persecutors, I don't know how persecuted it was, but it works with any persecutor. They very rarely think about it, what they did, because that would hurt them too much, hurt their vision of themselves, hurt the mask, the high performing mask. But at some point, some of them clean their doorstep completely. They're like, I need to take full responsibility on my behavior, on what I did, even though you get to experience that whatever has happened, I mean it, whatever, the fault is always shared. It's 50-50, no matter the relationship kind. To get there, everyone must accept the full responsibility for the two people to be able to share it. Alex's father decided to be responsible here. This way I told myself, if I cannot talk with them and see that for 5 minutes they're willing to take a monologue to just say they're sorry, I don't mean kneeling, imploring, I just mean apologizing, sincerely, plain and simple. That's the only condition for you to give a chance to your persecutors. Number 6, misunderstanding the nature of the work. If at any point you let go, give in, you take a break, the conscious break. That is keeping the mask on for just a little more time. That's a heavy mistake with heavy cost. That is the most basic error, not seeing it's a continuous process. Long term, with no finish line. Take the example of my grandmother. It was like, I've cleaned my doorstep, that's it. I'm done. I don't think you're done. I don't think you're done with that. Even though you're less worse than others, you're not perfect. No one is. Mistake 7. Self-flagellation and delayed self-awareness. This one hits close. I've lived it myself. Beating yourself up and taking too long to integrate the fact that you're constantly sabotaging yourself because of this. I hurt myself emotionally so hard. So fucking hard. I told myself, I kind of deserve it. I didn't hurt myself physically. I hurt my psyche. I hurt my self-esteem that was already super destroyed. I told myself back then, a few years ago, when I was feeling like I was not moving on, even though I was, that would give me the strength and the courage to leverage to get motivated later on. Today, I can say that I'm not thinking about that. Seems like someone else's life. Almost doesn't make sense, because that's way behind me. You wish you told yourself, that's so fucking useless. But in such a state of desperation, you make mistakes. As long as you don't do something irreversible with your soul, I guess that's fine. Try to process it. Try to tell yourself in advance to not hurt yourself emotionally, from my experience, as much as you do right now. Easier said than done, I know it for a fact. Enforce self-awareness. I believe self-awareness is way more innate than acquired. Yet, you can enforce the change. Enforce the change of trajectory. You can challenge nature. You can challenge your inner natural abilities to get better. Not only for practice. That's a mix of self-belief and work. Number 8. Talking to the wrong people once you've made progress. Surrounding yourself with people who got unresolved trauma too is a trap. That trap extends to any professional and personal choice you make. Your breakthrough are mostly yours. You'll very rarely find people you'll be able to talk about that with. That's a reading grid. Everybody's view is different, experience is different, life is different. True listeners are really rare. I got like 2 mentors of mine I can talk to who know exactly what I'm talking about, because they fix themselves at 90% as well. For the rest of them, it's useless. That's really, really frustrating. You wish you told people. That's always one of my greatest interrogations. I'm like, how can I tell people what I've been through? Because there is so much about that. That's such a part of my life. And it hits really fast, because whoever you meet, whether it's a potential girlfriend, new friends, business partners, or whatever, you tell them at some point, comes in the conversation, I have no family. And you start digging, because your story is rare and assumed. And lately I found the answer to that. I found the solution, which is you must reach this point. Like, you don't undergo your trauma anymore. Well, it took me 10 years, 27 years. But I'm a normal person. I feel like I'm a normal person who's never been through the things I've been through, yet I am. It's the double character frame. At this point, I can speak the truth, but I'm so relaxed, so detached, for real. Even though I guess I endure it somehow. With this example again, no family, that's an empty box. So you would have the reflex to fill the void, but I don't. I'll never go the easy way. Never. I never did it. So, mistake 9. Forcing social conformity. The surface read is fear of rejection, but it goes deeper than that. It's about playing the game even when you know you shouldn't. Corporate after work, drinks, social niceties, performative participation. If you feel yourself forcing it, don't do it. That's one of the reasons why I made so many changes, because of the different workplace I was at. I started even slightly with drinking, because people were drinking. You tell me, there's nothing about trauma in here, but these kind of examples people give online about being singular, social norms, alcohol, social niceties, you endure their consequences 10 times harder when you have trauma than when you don't. Doing something inauthentic breaks you when you got trauma. Authenticity has a price for you. Inauthenticity instantly trigger heavy conditioned response that you must break and integrate at some point. Stop it from the outside with your inner strength. This way, you create the symbiosis. Your external choices impact you on the outside, reinforce you. Mistake 10. Taking breaks from the work. I've said already, it's a continuous work. This work has no pause. Only you will see the results. It will isolate you from the world, and people will take it personally. This work will cut you from other people. People will take it personally. Typically, most of the friends I've ever had did not understand I was going through several existential crises. They thought, you abandoned me, you were my brother, you let me out there by myself. And you're like, no, I'm telling you, I hit rock bottom. I was at my worst. No, they take it personally. They all do, most of them do. Only you will see the results of your work, and you'll feel like your previous lives were someone else's life. It's true in personal development. It's even more true with trauma survivors like you and me. The change between every transformation is exponential. It requires from you to rationalize the irrational, to integrate entropy. Chaos creates structure that creates chaos, and so on. This process compounds over time to exponentially transform you. You ascend so much. No matter how you may feel about that right now, you will drastically and exponentially not recognize your other selves. And that's fine. Most people just don't get it. But it's real, and that's the only way. If these mistakes speak to you, you want to know more about your trauma triggers, there's a free self-assessment link in the description that will define on a scale 0 to 100% your top 3 triggers for you to discover it or to remind yourself about them. Click the link right here. See you on the other side and on the next one.